Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for coming in, joining in, and being here. Hope your day is going phenomenally well. For introductions, my name is Lapiz. I do readings on here as well as offer personal readings that you can book down below or the link in the bio. Also, I'm on Twitch, not as often as I would like, but I'm just on there doing reactions, answering questions, all the good things. So with that being said and done for introductions, like, comment, share, and subscribe. And we're going to get into this. I recently created, but not created this deck. I don't want to say created the deck, thank you. Made something new with two separate decks. And I was trying to converse. I keep trying to say converse, but I don't want to say that. Make smaller space, make things smaller, more compact. Thank you. So I decided to add these two decks together, and I was like, this would be perfect for a reading, obviously, because they're cards, but this would be perfect for like a pick a card reading. Where am I at emotionally? How am I feeling physically, energetically, all those good things, because it has the emotions cards as well as the affirmation cards from Spirit Junkie. So I want to go ahead and get that set up and get that in there. So we're going to go ahead and do that. I don't know why I said pick a card. I'm not feeling pick a card for this one. We're just going to see where your emotions and energy are, and then I'll also give us some affirmations for that as well. So now let's just go ahead and get into this. Now this deck is pretty big, so I will do my best to hold it. Okay. You have for the collective spirit. First, let's turn it the right way, because I can see that the cards are already not flipped the right way. There we go. Do you have for the collective spirit? So we're getting some affirmations out already here for you. Thank you. And let's see. What else do you have for the collective? Nope. Do not need all these. Okay, and then one more emotional card, please. Thank you. Alrighty, we'll put the affirmations over here. So let's take a look at this, and actually I'm going to put that one over there. It's the final. Okay. So just looking at this already, we have two energetic and transformational flow cards coming out here. And so what energetic and transformational flow means in regards to these cards and the energy and how it pulls is, this is how you're energetically feeling, or the energy around you that you're taking on or that's there. But it is the energy either within you or within your environment, right? And transformational flow is how you allow this feeling, this emotion, this energy to transform your life. Does it allow you to actually truly flow in that way? How is it allowing you to flow? Things of that sort. So we have two energetic and transformational cards, which is needy and sensual. Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and start them off here. And then, of course, the crystals are going to be down below, and the affirmations over here are going to be down below. I'm looking here because that's what the monitor is when I need to be looking here. Sorry. But we have needy. Neediness exposes the tendency to look outside of yourself for attention, comfort, and connection. While these needs are relevant and vital to the human condition, we can develop an unhealthy codependency, and if they are not being met properly, we may be left with a feeling of anxiety, insecurity, or abandonment. Okay? So again, it's that, I'm hearing an Ariana Grande song, which is that, how good does it feel to be needed? 'Cause I could be needy, so goddamn needy. How good does it feel good to be needed, right? But she is on the other end. She's the needy energy. Like, I need to be needed. I need to, I need you to need me. I need you to want me. And that can cause a lot because it's like you're trying to do all for this person to show that you are worthy of being needed because you're needy for this person, this energy, or this circumstance. Like I said, an unhealthy codependency, right? So that leads to sensual. Sensuality is connected to pleasure, the senses, and being in touch with yourself, and invokes beauty, grace, and freedom of expression. Sensual experiences encourage you to slow down, soften, and be giving to yourself. Sensuality may awaken a deeper sense of knowing and asking for what you want. Okay? And sometimes, especially with the sensual coming in here, again, knowing what it is for your pleasure, that sacral chakra energy, what do I need to truly feel pleasure within my life, in my body, for myself, my environment, how things work. And so what I'm getting right now for you guys is like that saying where it's like, don't love people how you want to be loved. Love people how they want to be loved, so that way they can love you how you want to be loved. But if you are doing things for people or loving people or setting things up because that's what you want in return, that's not the way to do it, because now it's going to turn into this codependency situation where you're relying on someone else to give you something that you can start with yourself, know that feeling, and then have it replicated by those outside of you. And that's kind of the energy that I'm feeling for you guys with this neediness. Sorry, I'm spreading out my cream because of mosquito bites. If you know, you know. With this neediness, this unhealthy codependency of being reliant on someone or wanting someone to be reliant on you, right? And it allows you, let you know, like, what am I gonna need to truly feel pleasure for myself, for my life, with or without this person, with or without the situation. And again, I'm the energy that I'm getting for you guys, not even just what they're saying, but it's again this energy of don't love people in the way that you want to be loved. That's what I'm currently hearing, especially with you guys getting one intuitive motion card, which is disappointed. It's definitely letting me know, like, don't do things for people hoping that they're going to do it for you. Don't expect people to be you, and so that's where also the sacral chakra energy, the sensual energy comes in. It allows you to communicate your needs, your wants, and your desires in a way to truly allow it to transform your flow, so that way you don't need to be needy. You know that social interaction is something that that us as humans need. But when it comes from a desperateness, I like to say a desperate mind creates desperate actions, So make sure it's not out of this desperate need or this wanting need, or hopefully they're going to pick on that this is what I want. Is seeing somebody like it's around like Christmas or a birthday, big celebration or gift time, and then somebody's dropping hints like, wow, this knife set, I ain't never seen a knife set like this before. Like, have you, like the one in the kitchen, don't really do it for me. So it's like this person dropping hints instead of, trying to say it outright. But also I'm hearing, before I get into the disappointed card, sometimes Spirit doesn't want you to be around people where you always have to drop hints or always have to let it be known what you need or what it is, right? That you are deserving of. It's somebody that is attentive to you and recognizes that and knows that. Um, and is able to take that in and be like, okay, I know this about you, so I won't do this. I know this about you, I won't do this. Even just to take it to something simple, right? I know my brother doesn't like mushrooms. I wouldn't cook anything with mushrooms in it. It's being attentive like that. Like, yes, it's a meal. It's things like that where it's like, something about somebody and you're going to be cautious. So it's like, if you can do that with something as simple as food, it's somebody noticing like, okay, whenever we're talking, I notice that they are not really looking at me, and I would like them to look at me, being focused on me. But instead, it can be in a way of like, you know, kind of throwing those subliminals. We don't want those hints. Just be honest. Like, hey, when we're having a conversation, it's okay if you like focus on the conversation that we're having, you know, so that way it doesn't come in a way when you're trying to do those things of saying it without saying it, or become desperate for it, or feel like when you do have their full attention, it's something that is wow, like yes, like they're actually caring, like so creating those type of things as well. Um, and when you're listening, you're paying attention, you're fully engrossed. You're, referencing things, you're asking, questions, you're adding in little titty bits, all the good jazz. When it's your turn, it seems like everything is more important. Everything is there, it's present. It's like, okay, like I feel like we could have did this later. So, but it's communicating that and letting that be known. Because if you don't, and you're like, but I do it for them, it should be easy for them to attend to do it to me, right? And that can lead to disappointment. And not saying that there aren't people out there that will just do that without you needing to express it. Like I said, that's kind of the energy that they want you into. But they're also letting you know with the sensuality that you have to be confident enough in your energy to get what you deserve. And sometimes you have to speak up to get what you deserve. Let it be known. Juna, if you are going to bark, go lay down, please. And I think it was just going by or parking. But relax. So again, don't expect things. That's kind of the main message I'm feeling. Don't expect you out of people. Don't love people in a way that you want to be loved, and be vocal and open when necessary. Because sometimes they also let you know, like, okay, I even let it be known. I didn't drop in to let it be known. It's still not changing. Juna, it is just a delivery truck. This girl. Oh, that could be a sign as well. June. So taking in because and one thing, because it says intuitive emotions is this important. So this is something like you feel like possibly you were wrong, like I said, you weren't listened to, or you feel like you are constantly in the need of being needed for this person. Like I said, anytime they really truly do pay attention, or really sit down and immerse, or set this up, or buy this for you, or whatever how you like to feel and receive and get that love. And it's like when it finally is done, it's like, wow. And it also comes with acknowledging that, like, I like when you do that. I like when this happens. So that way it can also register in their mind, again, what gives you pleasure. So that way they know how to love you as well. So it can be people just being very close and attentive and watching you, or being vocal and making those changes, or whatever it is. But it's something which you can't keep inside, and that either people will notice or take advantage of, or not notice and not even know that they're taking advantage, quote unquote, of you, you know? To read these disappointed intuitive emotions, is disappointment elicits a feeling of unhappiness between your hopes and intentions of what actually materializes into reality. You are often left with a bitter taste of defeat or failure, and the feeling of disappointment can be a setback to your resilience. You are asked to re examine the relationship of expectations. Okay? So, again, this feeling of feeling like, I didn't deserve that. They should have did this and that. Also, communicating when you feel like things should have happened or things should have changed. So allowing it in, to be that. Sorry, vocal standpoint for yourself. I'm trying to get comfortable, but I have cream like on my legs and thighs and stuff from bites, and so I can't get too comfortable. But I say move back before we know it, but allowing that in, and recognizing that, and not allowing the neediness, the wanting to be wanting, or the wanting to um, be present in people's lives. I even said it yesterday in one of the readings. I was like, I never want to be needed by somebody. You can be there, and you know that I'll be there if you do need me in situations, even just to get a laugh, to get a this, to that. But I want you to want me, because want leads to that desire, that curiosity, that respect, that acknowledgement, all that. But that need is, I'm seeing something specific in you that I need at this moment in time, you know. And that's what I'm going to grab. That's what I'm going to get, or that's what I can see that I can get out of you. And once I can't get it anymore, you've served your purpose because I don't need you anymore. You know? So I always say I want to be wanted and possibly needed than need to be needed and never wanted. You know? So recognize that, and again, go from that pleasure source, that freedom, that energy. Like I said, it invokes beauty, grace, and freedom of expression. And you have to be in touch with yourself to know that and recognize that and realize that. Because neediness is about a relationship with other people, and disappointment is about expectations on the outside of other people, of yourself, sorry, relying on other people. So once you get to that energy of what it means to truly tap into that, you were able to step into that reality and recognize, okay, this disappointment I'm feeling like is so true, real, and it's true. You know, sometimes you can feel disappointed, but again, like I said, reevaluate, re-examine your expectations in these relationships and what it truly means to be in a relationship with someone, whether that's platonic, romantic, and otherwise. Okay. So to get into these affirmations here for you, let's go ahead and set that up. So the first affirmation that we have is, I bring peace with me wherever I go. Right? And that's tapping into that sensual energy. That's tapping into that communicative energy. That's tapping into that expression energy and knowing energy, and bringing that with you and allowing that to be the transformative energy in your life. Right? We have, all that I love is more important than all that I fear. Right? And so that's pulling into that disappointment energy, if you believe it. Because if you recognize like the fear of putting this want to put in this expectation and possibly disappointed, can make you fearful of being expressive, of open, of letting people know what you're expecting out of a relationship. You're like, I'd rather just do this. I'd rather just set this up. I'd rather just ignore it. I'd rather just stay in this wanting energy, loving somebody. I want to be loved, like hopefully dropping all these type of things. And it's like, no, what I love, which is the pleasure, the joy, the experience around that energy, is way more than all that I fear or could possibly feel disappointed in. Right? Next card that we have is, my greatest experience of freedom comes when I let go of what others think of me. Okay? And that leads into being, again, vocal. Because sometimes when you want to be needed, or want to be wanted or seen or heard, you'll do things that push you again into this confinement, which is crazy. I was talking about that before we started, about how I was trying to condense the cards. But it's like almost condensing that freedom, condensing that vocalization, doing things in a way. It's almost like I said, that person dropping hints instead of just expressing that. Letting somebody know. And just allowing yourself that energy. Oh, to work. Because again, if your greatest experience of freedom comes when you let go of what people think about you, you won't feel the need to be needed either. Because you won't feel like your worth is attached to that or tied to that, or that you need to change something or any of that. It's that freedom of true pleasure, true expression of that sensuality, connected to self. Okay? Your second to last card is, I am a light worker in disguise. I don't have to talk about it. I can just be it. Again, that action, that movement coming in here for you. You are going to have to be that change. You're going to have to be that shift. You're going to have to be that drive in your life to get those things. Like I said, don't just talk about it. Be about it. Let it be known. Be vocal. Share those things. And don't just love people in the way that you want to receive love in the way that you want to receive love. So that way you can create even stronger relationships. Because that's also where that neediness can come in as well. Your last card is owning my power inspires others to do the same. I am not afraid to shine. Okay? It's a lot about claiming yourself, knowing who you are, not shrinking yourself, not expecting yourself out of other people, allowing yourself to be free, allowing yourself to be open, allowing yourself to be you, which allows other people to be themselves. And it also allows you to navigate, do you even want these people in your life, or do you just want people in your life? And you want the opportunities that are in your life, or do you just want opportunities? Do you want the love that's in your life, or do you just want love? Really, like I said, re-examine your expectations and relationships, and just your expectations, your relationship with expectations, period. And what you are expecting out of it. I'm been saying this a lot lately. Don't expect to win the lottery if you do not play. Don't. Don't expect to have this done if you never say it. Never express it. Never let it be known. Never are free enough to let it go. Let's get some final cards here for you. So what final messages do you have for this collective? Yes. Yeah, we have this isn't over. So we're like, it's too late, I'm already in, or already started, or this and that, or we've already established this foundation. And it's like a quote I seen years ago. And it was like, if you can't have a conversation with somebody because you're afraid of it ending, then that should let you know it needs to end. You know? And not even saying like never have that conversation because you're like, oh, it's going to end anyway, might as well. But having those conversations, because even if you feel like it's going to end, allow it to at least be fully over in a way where you're like, okay, at least I expressed myself. This is the outcome. This doesn't mean that this will always be the outcome when I express myself, when I let things be known, when I speak, when I do things. But this is one of those. And this allows me to also be even more sure that if I never expressed what I truly wanted, deserved, desire, how I felt, I was never going to get what I wanted, deserved, desire, and or express how I felt, which means I would have been in a relationship that just would allow me to feel and have these things that I didn't really want to meet. So it isn't over for you. And that's right on top of the affirmations here. We have a different world coming in here. It's right on top of the affirmation as well, but also kind of touching over to needy. So again, changing the way that you feel about those energies. Ooh, ooh, ooh. You're magical as being, act accordingly, 777. Okay? And that's right on top of disappointed and sensual. So again, if you release those expectations and what you're feeling and allow yourself to be open, expressive, vulnerable, it kind of helps you. Like I said, you never was going to have the conversation. You would have still been stuck in that. But if you had a conversation, let things be known or start changing things up or, it allows you to know that that's also magic. You being able to, with the power of your tongue, with the power of your actions, change things, shift things, move people's whole entire energy to let you know that you're magical. And that's also touching owning my power. Yeah, we have final verdict, choose wisely. Are you going to speak up for yourself? Are you going to do for yourself? Are you going to move in an action that allows you to feel those things? Or are you going to keep moving out of a need of needing to be needed, of wanting to do for others, be for others, and hope that they're going to start doing and being for you? Right? You are powerful, you are magical, and that's, again, necessary. Let's get these final two cards. Yeah, the caterpillar becomes a butterfly and obsesses in the reverse. here for you. So again, it's no longer obsessing over other people, their life, their situations, what you can do, all this, da da da, but it's obsessing over yourself, what you're looking for in yourself. And sometimes people hear like, oh, I'm trying to focus on myself, but like I said, if I'm in every part of my life, from the neighborhood that I live in, I'm involved in that. From the relationships that I'm in, platonic, romantic, I'm involved in that. To career, I'm involved in that. To hobbies, I'm involved in that. To my health, I'm involved in everything in my life. And like the caterpillar, what am I feeding myself to give myself enough strength and enough nutrients so that way while I'm in the cocoon, while I'm in there, I can allow myself to still be fed, still be, on that energy. So maybe a hermit mode coming up for you as well, to further get into that sacral energy, which is also the third eye energy, and knowing how to be more in touch with yourself, because obsessed landed on top of a different world, and the letting go and being the light worker energy, and a caterpillar landed on top of the disappointed magical ass being. Again, releasing those expectations and just recognizing that it's going to come out completely different than how it started, because it's needed and necessary. So tap into that. It's really telling you to feed into yourself so that way you can choose what you love. You can bring peace, calming, sorted out energy everywhere you go, because you know when and where you're wanted, what you deserve. Don't go where you're just tolerated. Shay, that bird. Don't go where you're just tolerated, where you're just needed, where you're just expected to be. I mean, you should go. That's your mom. That's your dad. That's your cousin. You should go where you're expected to go. No, you have to live your life, baby. Yeah. Third party. Don't listen to extra people when you got to listen to yourself. How does that sound? Don't do that. Okay? This is all up to you and your energy. But I love you guys. Love yourselves more. Until next time.